The competition is with service rifle. Any that appears stock in features from any era is eligible to compete. 40 shots on target at 3 firing lines out to 600 yards. It has only been shot clean once in the history that goes back more than 100 years. It is the Civilian Marksmanship Program's President's 100, testing the skill of the best riflemen and women on the shore of Lake Erie in Ohio. .0700, and a tradition that is more than a century old, endures on the shores of Lake Erie at a place that is rich in shooting history, Camp Perry, Ohio. Catherine Green fires the cannon to signal the start of America's most prestigious rifle match.
Oh, it was so cool. It was a rush. I was shaking afterwards. You know, President's 100 is the biggest day, so it was really cool.
The President's 100, the marquee event in a month of competition called the National Matches. The matches are sanctioned by the CMP, Civilian Marksmanship Program. Thousands of shooters compete each year on the Camp Perry rifle ranges. Sarah Rosansky says earning a spot in the top 100 of the President's Match is the achievement of a lifetime.
You have civilians, you have reservists, and you have full-time military all out competing against each other. So if you can place in that, it's a feat to do it, especially if you can do it year after year. And it's also a feat to be able to do it if you're a civilian and it's not your job to do it.
And lots of civilians are determined to do it, like Greg Ficklin of South Carolina.
The President's 100 is a milestone in a shooter's career for service rifle. It means a culmination of years and years of determination, practice, hard work, dedication.
Competitors in the President's Match shoot 3 positions with service rifle. Most, of course, shoot an M16 or civilian equivalent of it, but no rule says it has to be stock. Ask Lieutenant Billy Jack Barefoot of the Marine Corps shooting team.
Can't have a good rifle without a good trigger and a good barrel. Saturn barrel. We've got a nice 2-stage Geisley trigger that operates really well. Shoots well.
A custom optic and weighted stock up Billy's chances of hitting a 10. But in the end, it's the basic rifle every Marine takes to war.
Instead of having maybe a NASCAR, this is kind of like the, Formula One. This has got a little bit more jazz to it. But it's essentially the same platform as the platform we train with, just with a few more bells and whistles.
Keep an eye out and you'll likely spot an old school rifle on this line. Air Force Lieutenant David Twyble competes with his grandfather's M14.
It's pretty special to get to hold his rifle and get to shoot it. He's still with us, but I text with him after every string and he asks how it's doing and how I'm shooting, so pretty special.
Bob Steckety shoots an M1 Garand, a veteran of World War II, rechambered in .308, and still on the firing line. Bob is serious about claiming his spot in the President's 100. He's done it before with an M14 and AR-15.
I got to thinking about it. I said, I should go back to the M1. I've got this nice rifle, and I would like to make the President's 100 with it. And so in 2011, I started shooting the M1 again, and in 2013, I did make the President's 100 with the M1.
This string of fire will be slow fire.
The President's Match starts at 200 yards, 10 shots standing, slow fire, a time limit of 10 minutes. Top contenders know their dope, data on previous engagements. At Camp Perry, the wind is always blowing and no practice shots are allowed.
It's a match where you start off with no sighters. You just go out and you have to know what your dope is. You have to have solid positions, and you have to have good wind calls.
Jared Compton knows his dope, but his wind call at 200 is just off the mark.
Probably still in the running for President's 100 as long as I do okay at 306, but definitely make it a little bit more challenging.
Next, the shooters move to 300 yards, dropping to prone for 10 more shots, rapid fire in 70 seconds. Sergeant Nicholas Barnes of Parris Island says at this distance, Marines should be perfect.
300 yards not that far away, and then you're in a prone, the jacket and the sling, so it's a pretty stable position. It's a game of wind here.
But the wind gets the better of him.
Rookie move on my part. I didn't make the right wing call. I should have put more on it and been bold with my call, and I just didn't do it. So.
Third stage of fire is at 600 yards, and even as he leaves the 300-yard line, Jamie Root is dreading what comes next.
It is a game of beating Mother Nature. So the wind becomes double the issue it is here. And as the day goes on here, it will get more windy.
Competitors shoot the final stage prone, slow fire, 10 more shots. And as forecast, the wind is starting to pick up. Bobby Adams, retired from the all-guard team, knows it comes with a match at Camp Perry.
The wind was changing extremely fast, left or right. So the wind would come on, blow really strong, going to the right, then it would drop off and it would switch and go to the left, then switch and go back to the right. And I got caught several times.
And that's it. 30 shots in the wind to reveal America's 100 best. And remember Greg? He made it.
I'm ecstatic. This is a career goal, the President's 100. And now I got my President's 100 pin to go with my distinguished badge. My first time making 100.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, you're right.
And still ahead, the draw of earning the President's 100 tab that can change a military career. That's next. Out of more than 1,000 shooters on the firing line, the President's match will first identify the top 100. It awards the President's tab, proudly worn on active duty uniforms. That makes this historic match a requirement for the rifle teams from all the services. 1,050 shooters on this line, and about as many reasons for being here. Sergeant Jonathan Wanamaker was a soldier in the 82nd Airborne, but he set a goal and earned a spot on the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit because of the President's 100.
It was really cool for me because the first time I saw a President's 100 tab was when I was going down to compete at All Army when I was in the 82nd, and I saw all the AMU guys walking around with President's 100 tabs. I didn't know what it was.
But the sergeant found out, and when he did, he knew he had to prove himself on Service Rifle's biggest stage.
Yep, this is our Super Bowl. And one really cool thing about this sport is, you know, you have the NFL equivalent of John Elway and Peyton Manning out here shooting on the same line as brand new shooters that are 15 years old. That's kind of cool.
Here's another first-time competitor in the President's Rifle match. Third-class petty officer Greg Gonzalez is a member of the Navy shooting team. Tradition is what draws him in.
You get to follow the footsteps of those who went before you. And that's really big, especially for the Navy. Everybody talks about Camp Perry. Heritage has always been important to us.
Craig thrives on the competition among the service teams, but likes the camaraderie of this match too.
We've always been competitive with each other, but unlike most sports, in this one, you can be competitive, but you can help each other out at the same time.
Army, Navy, and now Marines. First Lieutenant Billy Jack Barefoot knows exactly why he's shooting in the President's match.
The why is, well, one, why not, right? Why not show up where all the action's taking place?
Excellent point. If you want to compete against the best, this is the place to do it. But Billy's really here on behalf of the Corps. He's a member of the Marine Corps shooting team, and as such professes he's living the dream.
It's hard to describe how awesome it is. You know, you look back at the pictures of the Marines wearing this exact same hat. There's been very few that have had an opportunity to come and compete and represent the Marine Corps on this national stage. It's hard to describe. but it'll definitely be the highlight of my career.
Quite a testimonial, the highlight of a career. And equally true for civilians, too. Jamie Roots will vouch for that.
Because it's challenging, personally fulfilling. It's probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
But also the most gratifying. Jamie calls the national matches the prime time of his year.
Something I look forward to all year. I'll be here for 2 weeks. I volunteer, I coach, and I shoot. And I would hope that more people would do that. If you want to try something that is about mastery of yourself, this is the sport for you.
And here's a competitor with a history at the matches no other shooter can top. Aaron Flowers is a West Point cadet and member of the Academy shooting team. He first came to Camp Perry as a baby and has been back every year since.
My parents, they were, have been coming here, and they started shooting early as competitors, as sportsmen. So they brought us up here, to hang out. I've actually been here every year of my life.
The last 6 as a competitor. Today, Aaron's shooting the President's 100 with his mom, Marcia Beasley, who stopped competing here when Aaron was born.
He said, "Mom, why don't you shoot?" So even though I haven't done this since before he was born, here I am.
Marcia is the rifle coach at the University of Mississippi. She insists today is one of the greatest of her life in the shooting sports.
It's fun. It really is fun. He has become very competent shooter, and it's fun to be with him.
For this pair, today is not about the score, but about family time on the range.
So it's just fun to see how he's grown.
We're both here shooting, and it's something she likes to do. And it's her first time coming back after a long time, so we're having a good day today, so yeah.
Coming next, the final shoot-off to the very best in the President's 100. For the top 20 in the President's match, the shoot-off is 10 more shots at 600 yards, added to their qualifying score. The result will name the best rifleman of the year. But the first question is, who's in the top 20? Final shots. The prelims are over.
Ceasefire. Time's expired.
Time to add up scores. Jonathan Wanamaker knows he's lost points to the relentless Camp Perry wind.
I said, not my best day. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
A story told up and down this line, but for 20 shooters, the match isn't over. The top 20 have made the shoot-off in the President's 100, a 10-shot final to find out who's the best. A crowd is gathering at Rodriguez Range, and America's top marksmen are comparing scores. 300 points is perfect.
294 with 9 X's.
295 with 10 X's.
My score is 297, 11X.
Great, but no one knows just yet who is in for sure. Nerves are on edge.
It's not all in yet.
I'm just trying to keep it calm for now.
So you're the guy on the bubble.
yeah. I might not make it, though.
Who gets in? The stakes are high, even for pros like Ben Cleland.
Because there are so many great shooters that have done it before me, it's become an American rifleman tradition.
As anxious competitors wait for scores,
3:15. I'm ready to go.
the crew preps the firing line, posting targets so shoot-off fans can follow shot by shot. The time to begin has come and gone.
Well, we should have the squatting at 3:15. We should know who's in, but they're not done with scores yet.
Then a flash of green appears in the crowd.
She's on her way with the result.
Scoring official Amy Cantu arrives at the proverbial wailing wall with good news for 20 shooters.
Top 20 are out. You're in. I'm pretty sure.
All right. Wait. We talked to you before. What'd she just say?
You're number
19. Okay. I'm in the shoot-off room, number 19.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keith Shackley makes the shoot-off, and so does the calm guy with the day's top score.
Liam McKenna with a score of 297.11.
A personal best deserves a hand.
Shoot-off competitors, please move your equipment to the firing line.
As 20 finalists get set to shoot off, the search is on for one man.
Anybody know where Walleye was down on that end?
He was talking.
Hey,
Army Reservist Bryant Walliser
he was over here earlier.
unluckily ends up 21st.
Yeah, you know, I think the scores were still rolling in a little bit. I don't know if I'm 21 or 22 now, but either way, I'm first man out. You're absolutely correct.
But Bryant has a smile and a tab.
It's just great. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, I get to wear the patch now. It's a really big deal for us service guys, you know.
Your 5-minute preparation period will begin when your targets appear.
Top 3 qualifiers: civilian Liam McKenna, Army Sergeant Brandon Green, and Guardsman John Cogshall.
Targets up.
The shoot-off is at 600 yards, 10 shots timed, 1 minute each. The wind is, well, you know. Finalist James Fox says it now gets easy.
Shoot 10 shots, perfectly aimed, hopefully get the wind right. That's it.
Pretty simple, huh?
Pretty simple, pretty simple.
At this angle, the shooters all look alike, so targets at the firing line help fans keep track of the action. Scores mark the hits after each round downrange. Liam McKenna opens with a 10, then drops 9 points. He's out. Brandon Green barely catches an 8, then follows with a 9. Missing his wind call hurts. John Cogshall's third shot punches 9 right after a pair of X's. This guardsman is on fire. Down the line, the 6th qualifier is making a big move. Sean Prozer is shooting 10s and 9s.
For your final shot, load.
But the marksman starting the shootout 9th is punching the center out. Check out the target of Marine Thomas Colliard. His fans are taking notice.
It's pretty close.
I think he took it. That's a high X count.
Ceasefire, score all targets.
The Marines are right. The sergeant takes the shootout with 96 and 5X, but that gets added to his qualifying score. Colliard is second by a single point. The winner, Staff Sergeant John Cogshall.
A long time coming of practice and coming to these matches and putting time in, and represents many years. But well, it's my 20th year coming here. Finally paid off.
You've made it this far in the video, and for that, we thank you. If you're enjoying the content, please consider subscribing. It helps the channel, and we'll keep the uploads coming.